The horror. The absolute horror, you guys. Something happened yesterday. And I've decided to share it with you because there's no way I can keep quiet about this. Eventually it's gonna come out and it's gonna bite me in the ass and everyone's gonna find out. I bought Crocs. After 6 years, I bought a pair of Crocs. The horror. I've been fighting this for so long. My friend has been trying to convince me to get a pair of Crocs. And he was just like, they're so comfortable. Just get a pair of Crocs. And I'm like, no, never. This is fashion suicide. Like, what do you mean? Never, ever in my life will I ever wear Crocs. And yesterday, I caved. I caved. And I bought Crocs. Oh, I don't know why I thought it was something serious. I mean, I made it sound serious, but no, eventually after 6 long years of saying and swearing on my life that I will never ever wear Crocs, you will never see me in Crocs, I did purchase a pair of Crocs. And you are Crocs? Come on now, Sona. Oh, thank you so much for the super random. Wait, I have to like. Oh, random things 808400. Thank you so much for the super. I kept you waiting, huh? Yeah. Well, 6 long years of trying to fight with my friend and saying like, no, never. You will never see me in in the daylight or during the day or at night, even under the cover of the night. You will never see me wearing these monstrosities. And yet, here we are. Here we are. I now possess a pair of Crocs. Given that they are black, like I just went with like a sleek black design because they have more options now. I think 6 years ago they didn't have that many options. They were kind of awkward, and now that the design is much nicer, like it looks nicer, it has like a thicker like the thicker bottom part. Is it like the soles, I guess, the heel? So yeah, I got a pair of Crocs, and it pains me to admit, but I did wear them. Fuck, they're comfortable. Damn it. I thought I could at least say to my friend, like, see, no, they're not that comfortable, they're giving me blister. God, you guys, they're so comfortable. It's like walking on clouds. They're not giving me blister. They're so light. And it just feels like I'm not wearing anything. It's great. It's amazing. Fear kicking with her Crocs. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, I admit defeat. I admit they're super comfy, and they still look ridiculous, like they are still ridiculous, but at least they're not uncomfortable. At least I can admit that, hey, it is pretty comfortable walking in Crocs. So here we are. Okay, but hello, thank you so much for tuning in. Venom, thank you so much for another super engraving. Jesus, guys, I cannot speak. But thank you so much, Venom Snake. Engravings give you no tactical advantage, but they're comfy. And the engravings or the holes, it's actually, the material is actually pretty good for using what, Crocs are good for Taiwan because it rains a lot and it's hot. So instead of wearing heavy rain boots, you can just wear Crocs. That I admit. Also, IDK Bacon, member for 35 months. Holy shit. Next up, Crocs with been there, done that. I wore them with socks yesterday. Is that even worse? I think that's even more. I think that's a even bigger faux pas, isn't it? Because I kind of wore them with socks. No, because like I did. She did it. I did it. I'm sorry. No, because I didn't want to sweat. because it was hot, and I was like, okay, well, the material seems like my foot is gonna sweat, or it's not really breathable, so I'm gonna wear socks. And yeah, I did wear socks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Free intankun. No. That's it. Are they sandals? No, yeah, like the crocs, the classic crocs. Well, I don't know how to, like, it's crocs. Crocs, like crocodiles. Like, they look like crocodiles, but it's like shoe. Kind of. Isn't that why they're called crocs? Because it's kind of like, oh, a crocodile shoe, sort of like they're trying to like mimic the a croc. Hashtag free intankun. What is it with you guys? Intankun is fine. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why you guys are so concerned about Intankun. Intankun is fine. He is very comfortable. He is living his best life in his cell. I mean, luxury apartment. Okay, but VIP luxury apartment in the basement. He just likes being in the basement. And that's the end of the story. Venom, what? Well, l'enfant terribly. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize to the, I guess it sounds like French, so French speaking community. Sorry, not sorry, I can't pronounce the some of the things in French. No, I think it was due to the texture being like crocodile skin. Is it? Oh, I guess so. But also like they have kind of like the shape is sort of, kind of. Let's say sort of, kind of. Okay. Anyway, hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, hello. I'm FEARSONA. You can call me Sona, and I'm your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber, here to give you full body chills and apparently fashion faux pas, because now I am wearing Crocs. Hey, Crocs are having a revival, you know, like they are in again. Because I think it was like a few years ago they blew up. And then there was a period of like, okay, well, Crocs are embarrassing. We're not wearing them anymore. And it kind of transitioned to Crocs being worn by medical staff because they are super comfortable and they are kind of non-slip. And yeah, it makes sense. Like they are very functional. And now they are having their, they're having their comeback. They are having quite a comeback, you know, like there's many, like there's more designs, there's more, like they're playing around with it. So and I'm seeing it on TikTok, I'm seeing them on Instagram here and there. So they are having a bit of a comeback, at least here. Like here they're pretty popular. Venom, thank you so much. I'm Big Boss and you are too. Yeah. Anya, hi. Oh my god, it's been a while. Hi, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, you guys, it is 5 days, I think. Wait, 6 days until my debut. I guess 5/6. Let's say 6 days until my new design debut and 3D debut. It's a new design in 3D. So exciting, but also so stressful. I'm stressing out, but I'm also super excited because I want to show you guys the model and finally start using it. And just, yeah, like I'm, you know, there's so many more things, and I'm cooking something special. I think you guys are gonna be super excited for that one. A certain location, if you will, is being prepared because I have more time. But yes, I am debuting on July 5th. That's Saturday, July 5th, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Mark your calendars. Mark your, I don't know, like whatever, on the fridge. Just put it on your fridge. Put it in your file. Put it in everywhere. Sticky notes everywhere. Just mark the date. Save the date. Certain location. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna be super excited about that one. I'm building, let's say a certain location is being built, a certain space is being built right now for me, and yeah, I think you guys will be super excited to see that. We'll see. I can't hint. I don't want to drop too many hints because it's like an ongoing joke here, but and it's being turned into reality, sort of, kind of. Again, hint, wink, hint. Mothman's Cave. Close enough. Close enough. I would say close enough. But yes, I'm super, super excited. It's gonna be Saturday, Sunday. I would say Monday. I'm gonna do like 3 streams. So I won't be taking Monday off. I'm planning to kind of like extend the debut weekend and make it really exciting for everyone. But yeah, you know. July 5th, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Mark your calendars. Yeah. Okay. So today's case, well, yesterday's case was difficult. So I had a case on Patreon yesterday. We discussed the internet's first serial killer, and it was horrifying. The case was long and the details were gruesome. It blew my mind how the killer slipped through the cracks, and for years, and I mean for years, at least 7 years, at least at least a decade, no one knew. No one looked for the victims. No one knew. Well, they were looking for the victims, but they weren't like really, really looking. And the fact that this guy managed to kill so many people, so many women, and he was operating in, in the digital space, right? Like internet space, which was unregulated because this happened in 80s, 90s. It is crazy how long he managed to trick people and how many victims he managed to lure. But yeah, if you're curious about that case, I did cover it yesterday over on my Patreon, because I do bonus streams and bonus cases on my Patreon page every single week. So if you're curious, you can go to patreon.com/FEARSONA and check it out. I also had a pre-debut, so my Patreon members actually saw the new design and new model in action, and that was super exciting. I was really happy that I could share it with you guys ahead of time, like way ahead, like 2 weeks ahead. But I was really excited to show it off to you guys, and I hope you liked it. And yeah, I hope everyone here likes it when the time comes. Okay. Pozdrawiam z Polski, Tom! Dziękuję! Oh, patrz. Wow, my people. Jakoś dziwnie mi mówić po polsku. But my people from Poland, hey. Also, to turn up the volume too high. Wait. This fucker has been under the radar for that long. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was horrible, you guys. Like, that case was just so bad. And I did see certain photos that I think I'm gonna need a break, like a day or two. After this case, and after today's case, I will definitely need a break. So imagine this. We're gonna jump right into it. Imagine this. You are scrolling late at night. Nothing unusual, just TikToks, memes, and oddly satisfying videos of people cleaning carpets. Maybe some Am I the Asshole posts on Reddit. And then you go on 4chan and suddenly you land on something very off. A series of pictures showing this guy in scrubs, and he's wearing, like not normal gloves, he's wearing surgical gloves, and he doesn't have a face. Well, I mean, he does have a face, but it's covered with a rubber mask, and those gloved hands, it's so weird because the gloves are reaching like far up his arm. And it looks like he is doing something he definitely shouldn't be doing. Heads up, because this episode is extremely graphic. I mean, extremely graphic. We are talking about medical horror, abuse, and deeply disturbing photographs involving children. Listener discretion is not just advised, it's practically mandatory. So you guys, if you are sensitive to graphic content, I highly suggest that you do not watch this stream. You can listen to the stream as a podcast, but I wouldn't suggest watching if you're very sensitive. Also, Joshua, thank you so much for the supa. Who the hell is this Dr. Gimp? Well, Dr. Gloves. You know what? There's a certain type of evil that wears a mask, not a metaphorical one. I mean, literal mask, black, shiny, rubber, as you saw in the picture. The kind you would expect in some twisted horror movie or a BDSM dungeon. That's how it looks like. That's literally how it looks like. Mind you, this photograph, the one that I'm showing you right now, it has been edited. The worst part of it has been edited out because he is in this photograph. He is actually holding something, but you can't see it because this photograph was altered to erase it. But he was actually holding something in this picture, right? Sometime between 2014 and 2018, some of the most disturbing images to ever touch the internet began to quietly circulate through the darkest corners of 4chan. So one of the forums that, appeared on the internet, and it had normal content, but it also had very disturbing content. So these images appeared on 4chan and other shock forums like Death Addict and, various digital underbellies, underworlds. These weren't your typical edgy creepypasta photos or photoshopped urban legends. These photos were very, very real, raw, documented, and the user claimed that they are original content. So basically, this user took those photos themselves. And the photos were horrifying. They showed a guy, or rather like glimpses of a guy, usually just his gloved hands or his glove, like you don't see his face. You usually see his hands and a couple of pictures where you see his face with the mask. And it wasn't what he looked like that made people's blood run cold. It was what he was doing. So in one image, he is holding a tray with what looks like pieces of a fetus. And then in the next photo, he is holding a full-on baby, or I guess still fetus, but by the neck, like very much developed baby. And he's playing with it like a toy. And in another picture, he's beside a motionless child. This is an actual living child who's hooked up to hospital equipment. It's crazy. People saw this and they began to piece together that this wasn't one isolated image dump. Like, it wasn't. Like, as they started digging further, they realized that this guy was posting like series and series of photos. Like dozens of photos. He started naming the photo shoots. He started naming it like, oh, this is from this series. This is from that series. It was unhinged, unspeakable horrors, you guys. It was a collection, a pattern, and it all pointed to someone who had unrestricted access to vulnerable patients, to a morgue. It was someone who was supposed to protect life, but they were doing something absolutely unimaginable. Online, this guy became known by a name that fits him far too well. Dr.Gloves. Because of the gloves that he was wearing. And this was a name that sounds like it was plucked straight out of a creepypasta. A name whispered in message boards, Reddit threads, and deep web rabbit holes. But this wasn't creepypasta. This wasn't fiction. It was real. And it's in the name, all right. Oh yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And Suno Hanashi says, does this have to do with black market organ trafficking or human trafficking? Because that's what I'm getting from this so far. See, we don't know to this day. This happened in 2014 to 2018. We still don't know who this guy is. this is still an unsolved mystery. And it's crazy because there are dozens of photos. Also, Bacon, thank you so much for the super. So this shit went from 0 to 100 real fucking quick. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, yes. So this is the story of one of the most disturbing medical mysteries to ever hit the internet. And to this day, nobody really knows who this guy is or how many victims he left behind. Let's talk about the name they call Dr. Gloves. Okay, so what happened? Who is this guy? We know that he wears gloves. He wears those surgical gloves. And mind you, a lot of these images, well, all of the images are going to be censored. Like, thankfully, when you search for images online, most of them are censored. Unfortunately, I did come across the ones that were uncensored too. I don't know how, because I was just like, I was searching for the images when I was doing my research. So I was searching for some of the images, and I was relieved to see that, oh, okay, you know, a lot of them, all of them are just censored right away. So you can't really see anything. So I'm like, okay, you can see the shape, but you can't see anything. Thank God I don't have to see it. Unfortunately, as I dug further and deeper, I did see the actual images, and it was... well, it's gonna stay with me. That's why I need a break after this, because yeah, unfortunately I saw the actual ones, and yeah, it's gonna, I'm gonna be having nightmares about this. Okay, so we know that this guy wears surgical gloves, hence the nickname, but that's not the weird part. It's where he is wearing those gloves and what he's doing while he wears them. So based on the equipment spotted in many of the photos uploaded by this user, he seems to be taking those images at a hospital morgue. So this is what the internet put together, you know, vital equipment identification. They put together the fact that it's probably a morgue and a freezer, you know, body kind of refrigerator. And they even pieced together like which model it is. Also, Josh, thank you so much for the super. Sorry you had to see that for us, Sona. Yeah, I kind of hoped that I didn't have to, because I was just like, oh, okay, censored images, that's okay. But yeah, unfortunately, no. And Danny, thank you so much for sending one gifted membership, and congratulations to Weldon Wen for receiving the membership. Please make sure to say thank you to Danny. And Suna Hanashi says, thanks for the answer, Sona. The AI overview, when I just Googled the person's pseudonym, gave a brief abstract of this case. However, it also showed results for medical topics, baseball, and a song. Yeah, it's not a very, like, now when you search for it, it's not, thankfully you can't, like, you don't immediately find it, you know, like there's not that many sources about, or websites that cover it. But yeah, you have to dig a little deeper and you'll find it. Okay, so yes, based on the equipment, he seems to be taking those images, a lot of those images, at a hospital morgue. And now let's look at the series of photos he posted, all of which have been censored because of their drastic nature. But again, I did come across the real ones. The ones that I'm gonna show you, they're censored. Don't worry about it. Like, all of them are censored. Even though they are still disturbing, like, you guys are gonna be able to tell, like, what, more or less, like, okay, it's something, you know, but, you know, it's covered. But bear in mind that the original photos were uncensored, and here, even though they're censored, there's still a fair warning. Do not watch this if you're sensitive to graphic content. So let's go. We've got the first series, which is called The Walk-In Cooler. This is actually, there's a website called whoisdrgloves.com, and that's where I got the pictures from. So series 1, The Walk-In Cooler. Location is still unknown. Description: Dr. Gloves poses with mishandles and throws preterm and deceased infant organs post-autopsy dissection into the air, including 3 brains on a residential broiler pan. Jesus Christ. I don't want to zoom in. I'm only gonna zoom into the mask a little bit. So that's a couple of, you know, like the holes, like he's hiding the eyes mostly. It seems like it's the same mask. And it's made of latex, but yeah, that's only the first series, mind you. So this is the series Walk-in Cooler. Then we have series 2 through 4, which are titled The Morgue, and location is unknown. Dr.Gloves appears to aggressively handle and choke deceased infant remains, aged approximately newborn to 2 to 3 months. The individual also poses for photographs while using their left hand to choke a deceased infant, while using a thumbs up gesture next to the deceased infant remains, and using various medical instruments to mutilate or feign mutilation of the infant remains, including scalpels, needled instruments, and so on. There's a 3D dimensional rendering and walkthrough of the morgue that the internet put together. So let's take a look at that. This is gonna be a simulation of the space that he used for photographs. Yeah, so that was the original picture that I showed you. That was edited. The thing, well, it was actually censored. It was actually digitally altered for him to not be holding anything. The zoom in, but he's actually holding something. Jesus. Yeah, so this is definitely a morgue. From what people put together, the model, like, yeah, it's just straight up the morgue. A morgue. Or at least the space is made to look like a morgue, but who knows? Yep. Jesus. Okay, I gotta pause this. And then we have the photos. All the photos. I'm not gonna be zooming into those because it's horrifying, but you can see how many of those photos. And even though they are all censored, right? Like, you can't see what it is. Like this? What? Why? You can tell. Oh my god. They had enough info to create a 3D rendering of the morgue this asshat works at, but not enough to figure out what morgue or who he is. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty bad. And yeah, like the equipment that I showed you. Oh, I turned off my microphone. Also, Danny, thank you so much. Sona, I'm really sorry you have to go through this with us, for us. I mean, this is not, ironically, as bad as it's gonna sound, this is not that bad for me because these are censored, like, as I said, in comparison to the ones that weren't censored. It's, it's not horrible. So we had the 3D rendering, we had more pictures. And from the photos that have surfaced, one thing is very clear. This man has consistent, unmonitored access to a morgue and some fetal remains. But this is not where it ends, because it gets worse. It gets so much worse. The next series is called The Child and the Blades. Identity of the, location is unknown. Identity of the child is unknown. Description: a man with light skin and hairy arms poses with a live child. This is a living child, approximately age 4 to 9, aggressively pulling their hair and feigning mutilation. Like he's showing the surgical equipment. And then he's showing the child, and it's again those fucking gloves. I can't. That's oh god. Yeah, the only thing, well, this image, I'm not gonna zoom it in because it's horrible, but I saw this image uncensored, and he is holding the child, the little girl, by her hair. That's what happens here. So he's got, like, he has access to fetal remains, he has access to living children, some of whom appear to be either comatose or severely disabled. And that's not something just anyone could pull off. We're not talking about some guy sneaking, some guy sneaking into a hospital after hours with a camera. No, this isn't a break-in, this is access. Privilege, like routine. He has access, he's working there. And that's also the main focus of this photo shoot, the child and the blades. And the next series of photos depicts another child in a comatose state, hooked up to machines. So it says, the medically vulnerable children, location. This one has an actual location. So it's Dignity Health Facility in Southern California, which is confirmed. And it says, the law enforcement is actively working to identify victims and contact families. Description, Dr.Gloves poses with several medically vulnerable ventilator-dependent children ages estimated between 2 and 12, while pressing his fingers, hands over their mouth and noses, using his characteristic thumbs-up gesture and taunting them while photographing them. The series also includes a separate image that appears to depict the gloved individual smothering a newborn infant in a Dignity Health Mother and Baby Delivery Center blanket with the trademarked orange 6-pointed star and elephant emblem, originating from 2015 branding campaign by Deborah Adler Design. Yeah. So we have more pictures. Yeah. That's what happens, and he's smothering them and he's showing thumbs up. And then we have this picture. That's the one that kind of helped identify the possible location, because this is the photo that he posted with the little blanket, and this is from the promotional photos from Dignity Health. Yeah. So yeah, if you recognize any location or you recognize this person, you can submit a tip on whoisdrgloves.com. So some internet sleuths have tossed out the theory that he might be a children's mortician, from the first photo shoot or first series where he is in a morgue and he's kind of playing around with fetal remains, right? People started throwing around the theory that he might be a child mortician, but that doesn't entirely hold up. Morticians don't work with living patients, because later he starts posting living children, right? Like pictures of living children. And the way this guy interacts with both corpses and comatose children, like that feels a lot more like someone is just embedded inside of the healthcare system. Someone trusted, someone who has access to both the morgue and the hospital. Others believe that he could be a nurse, but again, something doesn't really add up. In some of the photos, he is apparently not in scrubs. I didn't find those photos. I found like one photo. And also Venom Snake, thank you so much. Military Sans Frontiers. Perhaps. I am speechless. I'm sorry if you live in California, yeah. I just did a bit of research on my own. Dignity Health has hospitals and care centers in Arizona, California, and Nevada, so it could be somewhere. Yeah, so it's not only those three states. Like there's more, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to. It doesn't have to be California necessarily. So going back to the photos, he doesn't always wear scrubs. I didn't find the full picture, but sometimes he's wearing a dress shirt apparently, and sometimes he wears like slacks and even like shiny dress shoes with fancy socks. Like this isn't the uniform of someone pulling 12-hour shifts on the hospital floor. Like it's not, unless you are maybe a physician, maybe, but not a nurse, right? And it could be someone who can slip away from the rounds and duck into private rooms without raising eyebrows. So someone in charge. And then there's the setting. So across the dozens of photos, internet sleuths have noted at least 3 distinct environments. So one appears to be a morgue with stainless steel tables and what looks like body storage units. Another one looks like a standard hospital room with visible power outlets and equipment that matches North American standards, so likely the US or Canada. And then the third location is unfortunately a huge question mark because there's this like wooden table, which wouldn't really be used in a morgue. So, or a hospital. So could this be Dr.Gloves' home? Maybe office, maybe something like that, right? Like somewhere with a wooden table. So is it a real hospital location or is it just a simulation? Like, oh, he set it up in his own home and it looks like a hospital, and it doesn't have to be, right? Like, oh, he's just making it look like a hospital. So this guy moves around, maybe. This is maybe like not just one facility. And now let's talk about the gloves. So he doesn't use standard medical exam gloves. He uses surgical gloves, like, the thicker, more expensive kind, typically used for operations. And not only is that wildly impractical for situations shown in the photos, but it's just plain odd, like why the overkill? Why the need for these like thick surgical gloves when you're not performing a surgery, unless, we're trying to hide something, fingerprints, DNA, or maybe if he's a mortician, maybe if he's, a pathologist, but I don't know, like maybe if he's a doctor and he's conducting, I suppose, like, dissection or autopsies, but it just doesn't seem that way because again, like why would you, in that case, why the pictures with living patients? And just when you think this couldn't get any worse, it does get worse. There were rumors that he was employed at this children's hospital. I did show you guys this picture, but at the children's hospital in California, and internet sleuths, internet detectives discovered that the blanket, this is discovered by internet sleuths, right? Like internet just detectives. It's amazing, but they discovered that this could be Dignity Health facility in Southern California, but so far there is no hard evidence to support that. And as Tsuno Hanashi mentioned, Dignity Health has facilities in different states. It could be California, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, maybe all 3, who knows? And the truth is, these photos don't seem confined to a single location. They span environments, they span years, and yet he's never been caught. So we're left with a profile. And the profile is this. A middle-aged white male, probably in his late 30s to early 40s. He's well-groomed, likely intelligent, possibly a physician, and somehow he had the freedom and privacy to do the unthinkable while wearing a mask in a place designed to save lives. And the question is, who let him in? So one Reddit user on r/truecrime posted a comprehensive breakdown. This was like a whole post. It was like a huge post. But then they mention this. From the photos, it's obvious that DG, so Dr.Gloves, DG has ready access to both living children and fetal remains. So he is working in a hospital his working in a hospital seems likely. Some people say he is a child mortician, although the extent of his contact with living children makes me question this assumption, right? So I did say that before. Yes, there was a theory that he's a child mortician, but then it just doesn't add up when you see the pictures with living children, right? Redditors suggested 5 unique settings, from a walk-in cooler to a dedicated ventilator unit and even a mortuary within a kid's hospital wing. All evidence that this wasn't a one-off scenario. Why does he do this? Who knows? Like, for the shock value, because he's a psycho? Yeah, I mean, he kept posting. And recent posts around November 2023 spotlight a shift. What was once meme-ish shock content is now an active multi-jurisdictional investigation. So like before, the updates from November 2023 tell us that authorities are involved. And in r/internet mysteries, this is another subreddit about internet mysteries, right? Like focusing on internet mysteries. A user claimed contact with Dignity Health and San Bernardino facility and San Bernardino investigators because they figured like, oh, they pinpointed some, like the Dignity Health facility in San Bernardino, California, and they contacted authorities there who reportedly the authorities said that they executed over a dozen search warrants and confirmed legal review of the images. So they are investigating, though some alleged offenses might be beyond statute of limitations, which is insane. How is that allowed? How is there a statute of limitations for this? That's crazy. Yeah. And then 2 major online theories emerged. One, that there's a single perpetrator, so same masked man rotates through different location, morgue, and patient rooms. And then the second theory is that this is not just one person. These are multiple people either operating together or being copycats. It's a collective. So different people in similar mask glove setups, either they are working together or they're trying to copy each other. And, they're doing the same thing and posting these things online. So it's crazy. So let's review. The leaks started roughly between 2014 and 2018. Digital, internet sleuths mapped at least 5 unique settings. As of late 2023, police are officially involved with federal, state, and local action. Multiple lead theories exist. Single offender versus several. And yet no confirmed identity or arrest has ever been made. It's insane. You guys, insane. That this has been going on since 2014. It's been 11 years. 11 years. 11 years, you guys, and they don't know who this person is. And he keeps going. And then, somewhere along the way, feds are involved. Damn. Yeah, feds are involved, but still no progress. How is this possible? So then, somewhere along the way, Dr.Gloves posted one particular picture that revealed a major clue about their identity. And in that photo, if you look closely, you can see this person's hospital badge peeking out from behind the table. And if you zoom in even more, you can see their name, Edvin Balian. So we have the name and we have the photograph, supposedly. But is this name legit or is it a red herring? One user on Reddit, r/RBI, so Reddit Bureau of Investigation, pointed this out. Quote, "These also align with what San Bernardino County said, and when you Google his name, he pops up as working for Dignity Health. Also, when doing public requests, Edvin's search comes back that he lives in Glendale, California. He's very sloppy and I know it's him. He deleted all Facebooks, etc." So they post the results. So Edvin Balian lives in Glendale, California. I don't have any more information. And some internet sleuths even connected the name to a deleted Facebook tag from 2011. So before these horrifying images circulated, suggesting that someone named Edvin Balian might have been in the vicinity of Glendale, California at the right time. So possibly this is a real name. It is a real person who lives in California and was working at Dignity Health. But there's a problem. So the name badge that was seen in the photo is very strange according to people who are familiar with medical badges, and especially are familiar with medical badges from that hospital. The shape doesn't really line up with the typical ID, like hospital ID styles. And people pointed out that why would someone wearing a mask, like going all this way to hide their identity with the mask, with gloves, with pictures that never show them too much. Like, why would they be so careless? Why would they be so sloppy and display an easy to read badge, mind you, that, is sticking out from their pocket? Many people think it's photoshopped or it's a smoke screen. So basically it was intentional. This is not the same person. Right, so it's not Edvin. They're just using his name and they're just using his picture, knowing all well that Edvin lives in Glendale, he works at Dignity Health, and it's gonna be a perfect distraction, from the actual suspect. It is really strange, right? Like, it is really strange. Yeltra says, yeah, I'm on the other side of the country, so there might be some differences there, but working adjacent to the medical field, the badge does look a bit off. Yeah, so that's what people said, like, oh, this badge is not lining up with what a standard hospital badge would look like, or at least the badge from Dignity Health. Like, oh, it doesn't seem to be real, like it's kind of a counterfeit, right? Everything about that badge screams like too convenient. Also, mind you, like too convenient, right? Like, he's been so careful. He's been like going all these lengths to hide his identity, to kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna wear a mask, I'm gonna wear scrubs. You can't really tell, like, yeah, you can tell my race because like you can see my like the skin kind of partially sticking out from the gloves. But then you can't really see anything else. And then he's so sloppy that he shows the badge. Like, it just doesn't, when he's been so careful for years, like, doesn't adapt. Okay, so true crime enthusiasts and sleuths didn't stop there. Here's how modern detection played its part. So they, believe it or not, some photos actually include still, so they started like image cross-referencing, and some of the photos actually include still shots from a known infant autopsy video filmed in Mexico City. So it's not even like, some of the photos are not really his photos. So this suggests that Dr.Gloves spliced unrelated content to amplify horror. So he just kind of faked that, oh, this is his photo, but it's not. And then thanks to Invisible Choir's podcast, so this is another creator, true crime creator, and sleuthing community, authorities executed over a dozen search warrants, as I said, reviewing evidence from hospitals and mortuary contractors tied to San Bernardino and Glendale. And then we're taking, there was multi-agency digging, and we're talking local, state, federal authorities, including Dignity Health communications teams examining records, cross-referencing vendor lists, and digging into third-party contractors with hospital access. So they were involved. So we have the actual facility getting involved because they're like, okay, well, now that it's proven that this guy at least knows of our facility or uses where our promotional like blankets, whatever, like the blanket was featured in one of the pictures. Okay, we have to get involved. We have to check if this guy actually works for us. And at this point, here's where we stand. That name, Edvin Balian's, it feels, like it feels questionable. Because yes, there's an ID, but at the same time, it might be a fake ID, right? Then forensics pointed hard at Dignity Health San Bernardino campus, so very specific location, yet the man in the photos appears not employed at the hospital, but maybe working through a third-party contracted vendor. That's why they're investigating also like all their vendors and contract workers, like, mortuary or lab services, that kind of thing. So yes, dramatic stories suspected someone local to Glendale or Southern California, but not necessarily named Edvin. This might be a smokescreen. And law enforcement is more focused on roles: contract mortuary workers, lab techs, lab techs, I guess techs. So technicians, lab technicians, transport personnel. They're focusing on transport personnel because they're like, okay, well, maybe it's not even a medical, like strictly medical staff. It's not someone with even formal medical knowledge. Maybe it's just transport personnel, and one of them is Dr.Gloves because they have access to these spaces. So what's the current status of this case? Name is still unconfirmed. Edvin may or may not be involved. He might be Dr.Gloves, he might not. So far, it's likely a fake name or fake badge. Forensics nailed down environment, so morgue, ventilator ward, office, cooler, a lab, across 5 distinctive locations, but no arrest and no confirmed suspect has ever been named aside from Edvin. But then I don't have information if they investigated Edvin Balian's actually and questioned him. So is he an actual person, or is he just one person, or is Dr.Gloves an alias for a group of very disturbed individuals operating together to create the disturbing content? Well, we don't know. We're stuck in this like gray zone. A man who resembled the same person across dozens of images, so we don't know if this is one person. Wearing the same mask, the same gloves, acting alone. Like, is he acting alone, or photos, or is this a group? But like, is this activity shared among multiple people, among the group that is like copying each other or acting together, right? Like, it's a collective. So the forensics keeps circling back to a single facility, the Dignity Health in San Bernardino. That implies central control, and law enforcement's heavy involvement, search warrants, institutional reviews, interviews, hints that they are chasing one main actor. Like, this is what the investigation is leaning to. So it's one main actor who stitched himself into these environments with privilege, precision, and dark intent. So it might actually be a person maybe in charge, or maybe the hospital is kind of shady and they're kind of, turning a blind eye, so to speak. Well, we don't know. Officially, no. Officially, they are investigating. But from 2014, for 11 years, up until this very day, we do not know who Dr.Gloves is. And that is it. That is the end of this case. It's horrible. You guys, don't go searching for the actual images. The censored ones are already pretty disturbing and pretty horrifying, aren't they? But yeah, I would suggest don't go looking for the actual, like, digging for more information. Well, you can dig for more information. You can actually go to whoisdrgloves.com. That's the website that I was showing you guys just now. And that one at least has, all censored photos. So at least that. But if you dig deeper and if you look deeper, then you might come across the actual images. So I'd suggest don't. And bacon, ironic that it's called Dignity Health. Yeah. Yeah, that part is so ironic. It's just, yeah, like, some people are starting to suspect, like, hey, is this a person? Is the hospital involved? Like, is this a person, maybe a higher up, maybe someone who has influence and someone who can actually organize this, and the hospital is just turning a blind eye for some fucking reason? Who knows? Well, we'll see. The investigation is been ongoing for 11 years, so... Well, maybe not for 11 years, but it's been happening for 11 years and we still don't have answers. Tsunohanashi said, I said before that it looked like black market organ trafficking. Maybe, but those... Well, I mean, I suppose the living children. The photos with living children, yeah, it could be. But then there are those photos from the morgue, right? Like with the fetal remains. And those remains are, right, like they're remains. They're dead. They're not alive. So I don't know. The more Sona described this case, the more I think it's leaning in that direction. It could be. Honestly, it could be. It could be. Like, if the hospital is involved, then maybe, yeah. I mean, that's a theory. That's for sure. It could be a theory. This was so disturbing and disgusting. Oh, absolutely. Heavy cases this week. Heavy cases. I will need some break. Like a break from pictures, because I saw a lot of photos this weekend, not the good ones, from both cases. From yesterday's case too, I had to, well, at least today's case, I didn't have to censor the images myself. Like, the images were already censored. Yes, I saw the real ones, but the images, the generally available images are already censored, so I didn't have to censor them myself. The case yesterday, however, I did have to, like, I found the actual images only non-censored, and I had to get them, just save them and censor them myself. And if the FBI, CIA, whatever other authorities ever investigate my computer, I think they would lock me up for a very long time. Not because I'm committing crimes. I'm not committing crimes, but they would question me. Okay, maybe they wouldn't lock me up, but they would question me because sometimes I do have to save images that are very, very non-kids friendly. For cases, that's not even my fault, but for cases, I'm saving them for my presentation, right? Like, to censor them. But then, yeah, if they just say that you're a detective, yeah, they would be like, sure, of course you are. Sure you are. And that is why VODs exist. Yeah. Exactly. Just use your get out of jail free card. Hey. Yu-Gi-Oh must win. Sona must win card. No, okay, just for the just for the record, FBI, CIA agent Smith, if you're listening, I am not saving these images because I want to. I'm saving them for the sake of the investigation, and I'm censoring them, and this is not some sick collection. It is just me. I'm gonna be deleting the images that I showed you guys today, because I don't even want to have them on my computer. I'm gonna delete today's case and yesterday's case because I don't even want it. I don't want it on my computer. The things Sona do for us, yeah. Also, thank you so much. Wait, Thinvo. Oh, Thinvo, yeah. Thinvo for being a member for 14 months. Hey, nice. Do not pass go. What? Do not pass. Do not collect $100. What? I would say it was Oppen's fault, probably Oppen's influence, but I would just throw her under the bus, which is essentially me, still me. So it doesn't make sense. But yeah, you know, if they ever search my computer and I happen to still have my slides for cases, they will ask me questions and I'll be like, I'm innocent. They do nothing. I swear to God, I'm just censoring the images. Like, that's not my fault. I couldn't find the censored ones. Or like, I wish I could always find just censored images every single time, but that's not possible. Like sometimes, unfortunately, I do cover cases that don't have censored images. They just have the uncensored ones, like straight away. But yeah, thank you so much for today, you guys. I hope I didn't scar you for life. Bacon says, also, it's American law enforcement agencies, so they wouldn't be able to do shit anyway. You never know. You never know. Maybe the moment I go to the US, they'll be like, we know you. We gotta question you. I mean, hopefully not, yeah. Well, I mean, also, hopefully Taiwanese authorities will not kind of, ask me questions. Because, I mean, they can. I will answer. I will cooperate. I'll be like, hey, listen, this is what I do. I know it might be fucked up a little bit, but I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just a YouTuber. Don't lock me up. I swear to God, I'm not doing anything shady. I'm just talking about it. We're always gonna get unlucky and cross paths with them eventually. Hi, Agent Smith. Hi, Agent Smith. How's it going? How wife and kids? How are they? Just plead the fifth. Is there fifth in Taiwan? I mean, I can always. I'm pretty sure it's like pretty universal. Like I can just plead like, hey, not gonna say nothing. I want to see my lawyer. That's it. And hopefully I can get out of this. Okay, thank you so much for today, you guys. I'll be seeing you on, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see, but I'll be seeing you on Wednesday. I'm gonna be taking, these couple of days off to prepare for my debut. Actually, this week I might not have that many, streams in the middle of the week. So like Wednesday through Friday. I'll definitely have a Patreon stream, so I'll see you guys on Patreon, probably with the new model. So this time I'm probably gonna cover something and already use the new model, the new design. And then I'm gonna see you guys on Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, July 5th, for the official debut. And, because I want to make it into like a whole weekend, right? Like Saturday, I guess Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Monday or Tuesday, of like different events. Then I might just take a little bit more time to get ready for the actual event weekend. Okay, I'm so ready for the debut. Hey! I'm so ready to. I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I had to postpone it, which isn't ideal, but I had to postpone it because of another VTubers event that was huge. If you know, you know. But yeah, I had to postpone it a little bit, but it's finally here. I can finally start using the model, and I'm really, really excited, you guys. So I'll see you in a couple of days. Thank you so much for always showing up for my true crime streams and creepy internet mystery streams. I'm sorry that I'm giving you probably like some trauma, generational trauma for the next few generations. I hope I didn't give you too many nightmares, but thank you so much for sitting through this with me and discussing the case. In the meantime, stay safe out there. Always lock your doors and windows. Bury your hexes. Until the next time. Bye. Oh my God, Jose has been a member for 26 months. Thanks for the stream, Sona. Get plenty of rest. Thank you so much. Oh my God. But you guys, I'll see you next time. Oh wait, Josh is also, thanks for the stream, but please enjoy your break. Thank you so much. Did you guys know that shrews are like super aggressive? Like they are constantly hunting. That's why they used the shrew for the Godfather in Zootopia. because apparently, like, apparently that's why, because shrews are like super vicious. That is why. And Danny, thank you so much for the super. A vtuber who loves matcha latte. Yeah. Matcha forever. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.